My brother's headstone has the wrong date on it. I chose the stone, and my mother has never looked closely. Everyone thinks Daniel died on March 14th. That's what the police report says. That's what the newspaper printed. That's the date carved into every card my mother still keeps in a shoebox. But the stone says March 12th. I ordered it myself 3 weeks after the funeral. The engraver read it back to me over the phone. March 12th, you're certain? I said yes. I was certain. My mother never noticed. She visits every Sunday, lays down daisies, talks to the grass for an hour. She never once bent down to check the numbers. Grief doesn't read carefully. It just aches, but someone else would notice. I was counting on it, because the thing about Daniel's death was that it never sat right with me. They said he fell, alone, off the trail behind the reservoir at dusk. No witnesses. His phone smashed on the rocks below. Case closed in 9 days. The only person who'd been with him that afternoon was Cole, Daniel's best friend since 4th grade. Cole told the detectives he left the trail at 4 p.m., that Daniel wanted to stay and watch the sunset alone. Cole cried harder than anyone at the service. Cole gave the eulogy. Cole was also the last person to text him. 6:47 p.m. You up there still? The coroner put the time of death somewhere between 6 and 7. I never said any of this out loud. I had nothing but a feeling and a wrong date I'd carved into stone on purpose. So I waited. 10 months. I waited for the anniversary, when Cole always came. He showed up last Sunday at 5 p.m. after my mother had gone home. I was sitting on the bench by the oak where he couldn't see me. He crouched at the grave, set down a single beer the way they used to, and then he went still. He leaned in, ran his thumb across the numbers. That's wrong, he said, out loud to no one. That's not what, I said. He spun around. Jesus, you scared me. Sorry. I walked over. What's wrong? The date. He pointed. It says the 12th. Danny died on the 14th. I looked at the stone like I was seeing it for the first time. Huh, you sure? Yeah, He stopped. Something flickered behind his eyes. I mean, that's what everybody said. That's what the report said. I agreed. But nobody actually saw it happen. You told the cops you left at 4. So how do you know he didn't fall on the 12th? 2 days earlier. Because his mouth opened and shut. Because they found him on the 14th. They found him on the 14th. I said. Cold, out there, days after. The coroner never pinned an exact day. It was in the file. Estimated range. So the 14th was just a guess. I stepped closer. The only person on earth who'd look at that stone and know for a fact it was the wrong day is someone who was standing there when he died. Cole's face drained white. You said 4 o'clock, Cole. You said you were long gone. But you just corrected a gravestone like you had a stopwatch running. I read it in the paper. The paper said the 14th. So did the stone, until I changed it. You didn't correct it to match the paper. You corrected it to match what you saw. He was breathing fast now, backing into the marble. I didn't. It was an accident. I swear to God it was an accident. What was? He was gonna tell her. It ripped out of him. About the money. About your dad's account. I only borrowed it. I was gonna put it back, and he found the statements, and he grabbed my arm, and I pushed him. I just pushed him. He went back, and there was nothing to grab, and he slid down the stone into the wet grass, shaking. It was the 12th. It was after 6. He said my name. Oh God. He said my name. I took out my phone. The recording had been running since 5 p.m. You watched him fall on the 12th, I said quietly, and you texted his dead phone on the 14th, so it looked like you didn't know. I carved the real day into his stone and waited to see who'd flinch. Behind me, gravel crunched. 2 detectives stepped out from behind the oak, where they'd been sitting with me since 4:30. Cole looked up at the wrong date one last time. It was never wrong, I told him. It was the only true thing here.